All right, hey guys, what's going on? A lot of people wanted me to go live and do some election coverage, so I thought I would do it. But like, I've had a few beers. I know you can't tell because when I'm drinking, it's 100% like I'm totally sober, and nobody can tell. But trust me, I've had a few beers, so we're gonna try to do a little tipsy election coverage for you guys. If you want to hang out and see what's going on, apparently Florida went for Trump. Really, no surprise there, but like, I know we all had on hope, Kamala was gonna pull fucking through there. Florida was gonna be better than we all thought they were, but they're not. They're garbage, and like, I think I speak for a lot of people when I say like, maybe like we don't give any more federal aid to Florida. I don't know. Like, I know that seems mean, but like for this time, like this hurricane, fine. All the federal aid will come help you out. We got you back. But like all future hurricanes, you're like on your own. Like, how can you continuously shit on democracy and the U.S. government and the welfare state when you're like a welfare queen? You vote against it time and time again. Vote for the people that are actually going to make the problem worse, and then ask for a fucking handout. I don't see how that makes any fucking sense. So I think it might be time for Florida to be the big saggy dick that just falls into the ocean, right? That's what I think anyway. So we're gonna read some CNN politics. Election night in America 2024 presidential election results. So far, Trump way ahead. I'm not gonna freak out yet because like that's normal. They're counting all the southern states and shit first, and we're fucking morons. Don't really deserve to lie to live. Mouth breathers, to be honest with you. Trump spoke briefly to supporters at Mar-a-Lago. I did a couple of tweets. Let's play my fucking tweets because my tweets are always cherry. So, boom, there we go with Twitter. Um, so, Elon doesn't seem very confident, to be honest with you, which makes me feel good. Desperation for Elon Musk. They don't seem to feel very confident, said Dusty Smith, who's a very sexy left wing um, podcaster. I'm not really familiar with his work, but I hear he does good shit. Elon is like, we are breaking down massive evidence of Democratic election fraud coast to coast. They're not. There's like literally nothing. They're just making this up. Right now, live on air, just desperation dripping off every pore on his body. This is Alex Jones, by the way, but Elon Musk is like retweeting all the shit. So it's the same people. Please watch and share the live feed below for the most in-depth 2024 election coverage. Please. Alex Jones needs more money. Go buy some more fucking supplements that don't do goddamn shit for you, you morons. And Dookie Shoot lost Mark Robinson. So you guys know Mark Robinson is right. He's the one that Trump endorsed heavily. Said he was the Martin Luther King Jr. times 10. He was the fucking man. And then they found old messages on a forum for him saying he loved Hitler and bragging that he fucks his sister-in-law in the ass and pisses all over her. Of course, none of that ever happened. It's just a fat loser bragging and trying to feel important on the internet. But it's so sad and pathetic that he lost, which is good for like Kamala Harris because Donald Trump was hoping he was going to get a lot of votes from the people that are going to be excited to vote for Mark Robinson because North Carolina's like a must-win state for him, and Mark Robinson lost, so that's good for Kamala. We're going to keep the hope alive. Maybe that's good. And then Trump starts posting immediately on Truth Social about cheating in Philadelphia and claims that the cops are checking it out. They're on their way to like arrest some motherfuckers. And the cops are like, we have no idea what this motherfucking idiot is talking about. There's no election fraud going on here. He's just making shit up. So the cops have already come out and said, hell no. So this also reeks of desperation for him. He seems like he doesn't feel very confident, thinks he's going to lose. So he's already pushing the election denial. If you're confident, you don't push no fucking election denial, right? I laughed when I saw he lost. Fuck yeah. Yeah, still got a lot of blue votes coming. Yep. A lot of them are coming in. They voted through the mail, right? So they'll be counted last, I guess, because they'll have like laws and shit that make them count mail-in votes last for some fucking reason. Doesn't make any sense, but like they're setting themselves up for a giant disappointment. I guess that gives them opportunity to complain and pretend like some kind of election fraud happened. So anyway, let's check on X. Love you guys for making me laugh right now. All right, let's see what the fucking 2 hour ago Tim Pool. Oh, it's Ball Tim Pool. What? Why is Ball Tim Pool showing? Oh, that's Tim Cost. Okay, it's some parody. Oh, it's parody. Okay. So I say, why is Ball Tim Pool showing up on my fucking timeline? Goddamn Elon Musk. I know I ain't fucking doing anything to make you put Ball Tim Pool on my fucking timeline. What else we got? If you voted for Jill Stein, fuck you. Yeah, man, like, I ain't a big Jill Stein fan. Like, I think she's trying to do good in some areas. I think she is probably against the Palestinian war, which I'm obviously incredibly against. But she ain't gonna win, right? She seems a little too chummy with the Russians and whatnot. So it's like not a real good choice, in my opinion, unfortunately. Huge turnout with 4 minutes until polls close, says Kyle Kalinske, no longer a weasel. The estimated votes for Georgia on NBC's website is 5.4 million, which is big. I also posted that there seems to be a huge turnout. There's reporting all over. Long lines, historically, like they've never seen anywhere. And it's not like obviously written in stone or anything, but historically, the more people that vote, the better the Democrats do. So, possible that's a good sign, right? I feel sad. It's wrapped, and we tried. It's fucking way too close. Putin 2024. I know, right? Let's just give him the whole fucking country. Let him take over. Outlaw men wearing the shirts. No cars. We just have to ride horses and have those shirts on. I will rock a fucking horse with no shirt on. You don't even goddamn know. You ain't fucking seen Dusty without a shirt on a horse. You're gonna come in your britches. What else we got? Noah Shockman. You really tweeting about the needle? Really? I don't know what that's about. All right. A lot of this is going to be nonsense tonight. So just like, this ain't no kind of heavily produced, well put together show like I usually put together. This is just me riffing off the goddamn top of my head as I surf the fucking internet. So I usually don't like doing shows like this because I like being more prepared, being professional and shit. But everyone's like, oh my God, Dusty, you gotta go live. We're gonna hang out. I was like, I wanna hang out with you guys too. Like, I'm sitting around drinking, watching this shit. I don't want to fucking be lame as fuck, but also, like, I don't want you guys to see me all drunk as shit, laying in my bed, looking all fucking pathetic, and I'm all fat as fuck, because I ain't done nothing for the last 3 weeks but fucking play a goddamn video game and whoop little kids' asses, and ain't done no exercise, and I'm all fat as fuck, so whatever. I ain't gonna worry about it too much. All right, election 24 live update. Trump wins Florida. Already know that. Already said that. All right, what else you got? NBC News. Got to do better than that. All right, NBC News, they got fucking shit. They suck ass. Let's see what they're talking about.
Northern California, who have been moving since the pandemic into Reno, right? And then Southern California.
Ain't showing you guys that. Why ain't they show you the video? I'm seeing the video on my fucking screen. Ain't no fucking video on your guys' screen. So they fucking blanket out the video when I'm trying to do the goddamn show? There ain't no fucking video on the screen for you guys. That's some stupid bullshit.
It's the highest of any state in the entire country. So the economy is going to be huge here. And you got to remember, Trump came out with his plan about no tax.
What the fuck that shit about? So they got some kind of special copyright shit where you can't watch it? That's dumb as fuck. All right, whatever, NBC. Suck a cock in a bad way. Whatever. What about MSNBC? Let's see what MSNBC's got going on. All right. No, don't do that. No. MSNBC election coverage. Do that. Don't type the word do that. Just go there. Stupid motherfucker. All right, let's see what's happening. Let's see if you guys can even see this. Oh, yeah, we can see it. All right, cool. MSNBC is cooler. Let's do that. It's the same exact shit. It's the same douchebag. Why? Okay, whatever.
From 2020, a point higher than 2020. You can go over excuse me, you can go over to Paulding County, though. This is interesting. Again, core Republican area, fast-growing. Dallas, Georgia is here.
Dallas, Georgia.
29 points for Trump last time around, down to 24. So again, that's a feather in the Democrats' cap right there in Paulding County, bringing that Trump number down further. And finally, we close out on this. We're basically done in Fayette County. We ID'd this one at the start of the night as, look, if Democrats were actually flipping this, they are definitely having a good night in Georgia. Looks like they're going to come short. Harris has made progress here in his big suburban county here. Harris has made progress.
She's still losing, though. She go fucking lose Georgia, motherfucker. I guess that's one little town, though, or whatever.
Fascinating and so down to the wire.
Down to the wire, Rachel.
All right, we are coming up on a poll closing at 10 p.m. We're just about under 10 seconds now until 10 p.m. closings in some very interesting states. Let's have a look at the presidential race. NBC News projecting in the presidential race in the great state, the swing state of Nevada. It is too early to call.
You. Why?
NBC News projecting a winner in the presidential race in Utah. Donald Trump projected to win the presidential race in Utah. NBC News also projecting a winner in the presidential race in Montana. So Nevada too early to call. Trump win in Utah. Trump win in Montana. Looking back at the battleground states that we're still awaiting definitive calls in Georgia, it's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In Pennsylvania, it's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In Wisconsin, it's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In Michigan, sing it with me now. It's too close to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. In North Carolina, it is too early to call between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
That's terrible.
And in Arizona, it is too early to call between the two presidential contenders. Let's look at Senate races right now, including in some of the states that have just closed with 10 p.m. Eastern time poll closings. Looking at the Senate race in Montana, incumbent Democratic U.S. Senator John Tester facing a challenge from Republican Tim Sheehy. That is too early to call. In the Nevada Senate race, where incumbent Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen is facing a challenge from Republican Sam Brown, that is too early to call. In the Utah Senate race, this is also considered to be too early to call. Let's look at some calls from Senate races from the 9 p.m. poll closings in New York State.
Don't say too close to call.
NBC News can project that Democratic incumbent Senator Kirsten Gillibrand will be returning to the Senate for another term.
What the fuck?
NBC News can also project a winner in the North Dakota Senate race, where incumbent Republican Kevin Cramer will be returning to the Senate from North Dakota. NBC News can also project a winner in the Senate race in Mississippi, where incumbent Republican Roger Wicker will be returning to the U.S. Senate from Mississippi. This is the status of the United States Senate at this hour. Again, no surprises. 44 seats held by Republicans. That includes one net gain seat, a flip they got from the West Virginia Senate seat that was previously held by independent Joe Manchin. Democrats sitting at 34 seats right now. There are still 22 uncalled U.S. Senate seats at this hour.
Yeah, I heard that. We were laughing.
I mean, we don't have very many more poll closings, right? We'll have poll closings at 11 and 12 and one at midnight, one at 1 a.m. But we're not watching poll closings essentially for all the news right now. We're watching for any one of these swing states to close in on something called. To close in on something called.
The final polls were, I think the final Marist poll, right, was +4 nationally. I mean, I think that what we're seeing is what that looks like. And you take a national number and you toss it around and you think, oh, I don't know, that feels fine. I think that you said a few minutes ago, let's be blunt. Let's be blunt. I think when you watch what Donald Trump did in 2020, what Democrats were fantasizing about was a landslide victory.
You will die.
Be able to peer at a red mirage and falsely claim victory. And so some of what was wanted and desired was a sweep that in a 50-50.
All right, let's see what else we got. All right, let's go to CNN. See, you can't see it. It's the same motherfucker. Whatever. All right, let's go to CNN, and let's see if CNN's got some updated bullshit on it. All right, scrolling up. This one was hammered. I can't abide fucking alcoholics drinking all the fucking time. killing your brain cells. You sound so stupid. Everybody can tell. You're slurring your words. Losers. Only losers drink. Some Nevada polling places have hours-long wait. That's good. I mean, I would think. More people that are voting, the better. CNN projection Trump wins Montana. Why? Oh, Montana. I'm never going there, but now I know why. Wins Utah. I already said that. Fucking Mormons looking at a hat and at rocks and believing whatever, molesting children. They're the worst. It is 10 p.m. Eastern and polls are closing. Fuck yeah. In Battleground, Nevada, as well as Montana and Utah. Yeah, but you already said Montana was won by Trump. Is that a battleground? Well, that sucks shit. Whatever. 2 Pennsylvania polling places stay open. Good. Like, why? They close. They should stay open forever until everybody votes. That's the way democracy should work, I guess. But, okay. I think New York went Kamala. Really? New York? Oh, there's a fucking shocker. Pick it up. Smoking again if Trump wins. Damn this planet. I mean, the good news is, let's just do the good news, all right? My show's going to be lit, right? I'm going to cover so much bullshit Trump stuff for the next 4 years. It's going to be so much more entertaining. Let's say Kamala wins. Let's just be honest. It's going to be boring, y'all. I mean, yeah, I'm going to cover conservatives freaking out about whatever stupid little bullshit Kamala does, but she's a Republican. She's not going to do anything that amazing or nothing, right? And I'm going to spend a lot of my time shitting on her, and all my audience is going to leave me anyway, like they were fucking Oh, I heard from Spanky Weasel today. Sorry. A drunk note. Spanky Weasel, like, messaged on Facebook today. Remember Spanky Weasel? He was like one of the first moderators ever on the fucking channel. It's like one of the biggest supporters I ever had. Like, every show, after the show, he would leave a comment. He'd be the first one to leave a comment on every show. He was like mainstay of the show, and then he just started like not coming to the show anymore, and kind of started making excuses at first. He's like, I'm having internet problems, which is fine. Like, if you like anytime you guys don't want to watch the show anymore, just don't watch it. It's all good. Like, whatever, it's all good. So I just figured, like, it always happens. Like, eventually I piss somebody off, and they're like, I ain't fucking supporting you anymore. You're a dick. I can't believe what a cocksucker you turned out to be. Like, E. Remember E? Yeah, my biggest donor, E. So I just figured, like, yeah, probably just he got sick of me. Everybody eventually gets fucking sick of me. I'll say something, turns him off, and Spanky Weasel got sick of me. And I thought I knew what it was. Like, see, I love Spanky Weasel. Love his wife. There's two of my first biggest fans, but I think his wife got kind of mad at me a little bit for shitting on Joe Biden, because I think Joe Biden is a evil child murdering sack of shit who should probably be, I can't say the rest of that sentence, but not a fan. So I think she was like kind of liking Joe Biden. She didn't like the fact that I shit on Joe Biden, so she like, on my YouTube page, not my Twitter page, she was like, hey, you shouldn't shit on Joe Biden so much. It's like you're trying to get Trump elected. I'm like, I'm literally just doing everything I can to stop Trump from getting elected. You know, I don't think Joe Biden can beat him. We need somebody else. I'm just trying. But anyway, and so that I kind of asked him about it when he was on my show one time, and I was like, hey, your wife like shit on me about the Joe Biden stuff and quit watching my show. And so I thought that's why he quit watching the show. But he put a message on my last video that said he had cancer. So, well, that made me feel like a giant fucking piece of shit, right? Because I'm like all, not in my feels, I guess, but making it all about me, self-absorbed, thinking it's something that I did or said wrong or offended somebody the wrong way, and it turns out it had nothing to fucking do with me. You know, it's just he's going through his own fucking shit. So I hope I didn't do anything to offend Spanky Weasel. He's such a great guy, and I hope whatever cancer he has, he didn't go into details, but it's so minor. I hope that you get over it or to come back to the show sometime, because a lot of people have said they really miss you, and you were a big part of the show. Everybody look forward to having your sense of humor there for. So, yeah, pretty bad. I'm sorry. Rambling a little bit, but what are you going to do? Donald Trump does it, and he's the president, so I guess I can get away with it for a night. What else we got on CNN? Let's see. Some Nevada polling places have hours-long wait as polls are closing. All right, we already read that, CNN. You got to get your shit together. All right, let's check out this Botox bitch again. What we got going, Rachel Maddow?
Presidential race in Colorado, that there is a winner in Colorado.
Right. Come on.
Kamala Harris has won the state of Colorado. Woo! Joy, what would you say?
No, absolutely. I was just going to say on the realignment thing, one place, and I would actually like to put this narrative to bed, maybe forever.
Do it.
One place there's not going to be realignment, black men. Every 4 years, I go through the ritual of having to talk down, the sort of world that wants to say that black men are just realigning and they're all going to.
So, like, in black men's defense, all right, like, I do feel bad for black men because they're like a lot of the young youth of American males today. And they're so steeped in this toxic masculinity. Like, the worst thing in the black community is to be gay or to support gay people or to be seen in any way as soft. And the left is, like, fully admit it. They're more, well, it's progressive, right? And so we're more empathetic towards gay causes and gay people. And we don't like, as long as you're not hurting anybody, who gives a shit? So gay people, trans people, it's whatever, right? But in the view of toxic masculinity, that's seen as weakness because that's seen as, oh my God, you are accepting of gays, so are you gay? Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. If you're like really secure in your masculinity, you don't give a shit about shit if anybody thinks you're gay. Why the fuck would I care if anybody thinks I'm gay or not? Who gives a fuck about that? It's so stupid. But in the world of toxic masculinity, it's real, like prevalent. Like, oh my God, somebody thinks I'm gay. That's like one of the worst insults. So they are really some of them are the ones that are steeped in this toxic masculinity are really attracted to the MAGA movement for some reason because they've been being convinced that Trump is somehow masculine, which is fucking insane, obviously. He's this doughy, he's got tits, he needs a fucking bra, he's covered from head to toe in makeup, he's got a short mushroom penis, comb over, he's old. Just everything about him is just weak, pathetic, pussified. But toxic masculinity don't give a shit. It's toxic masculinity for a reason, so it's toxic, it hurts men, which is why any decent person stands up and tries to rally against it and fix the problem. But so anyway, let's see what she has to say again.
In that initial batch in Maricopa County. If you remember, the story in 2020 all week was Trump trying to play comeback in Arizona. This is his starting point now in Maricopa.
Arizona,
also,
go!
The other big population center in Arizona. This is Pima County, where Tucson is. This is the more democratic of the two big counties here. Again, basically the same deal. You've got this initial batch here that's half the vote. Again, Biden, you can see where he ran here in 2020. You can see what Harris is getting right now.
Yeah.
But what will still be coming out later tonight in Pima will be that same day vote. So we'll see how that affects the count. And again, in Arizona, if we get through tonight and this thing is still very, very close, you're kind of locked in probably for a few days of results just because of that pace where once a night you'll kind of get updates from these counties.
Once a night?
The question here obviously is if somebody gets a clear advantage, this is the statewide number right now. Half the vote has been counted out. We'll see in the coming out.
I better know in 10 minutes or I'm killing everybody.
Take some time there in Arizona. I want to return to Pennsylvania because I think we've got a pretty big development here.
Ted Cruz won? God damn it. Oh, man. What a fuck. I'm going to be sad all night. Fuck. God damn it.
Region here politically, and the question has been, what would this land at? And you're now basically looking at it. This is probably it in Lackawanna County. And Kamala Harris is going to, this is where Scranton is. Kamala Harris, you see, winning this by 3 points over Donald Trump. But remember, we were using this as a gauge because in 2020, Joe Biden won this by 8.5 points, won the state. In 2016, Donald Trump lost this only by about 3.5 points, 3.4 points. This was a winning combination for Donald Trump. He won the state. This was a losing combination for Donald Trump. Tonight, at 3.1 points, his loss here in Lackawanna County is actually a little bit less than the 2016 margin. This was one of our key questions in Pennsylvania tonight. Would Donald Trump get back to his 2016 level in a big blue-collar county like this? Because there are a lot of big blue-collar counties like this throughout the contested northern tier of the battleground. This I'm flagging for you because we said it at the start of the night. We'd use this as a bellwether also because this is now the complete one. We've been looking for complete.
Ted Cruz race wasn't even close. What? Fuck Texas. They gotta. I know they're not even close to the sea, but maybe they can go into the sea like Florida. Just saying. I don't know. Maybe the Hurricanes will bring the sea.
Trump's lead now is 11 points. This is where Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania is.
What?
He needs to hit this number and probably surpass
Fuck
it.
y'all.
So, keep an eye as this remaining vote comes in. But like Lackawanna, that's what we're looking at. One other thing to note here.
Leaders.
Now, look, half the vote is in Philadelphia County. Is the same thing as Philadelphia City. They're the exact same thing. So that's what you're looking at here. We got half the vote in. And you see Harris is going to win this thing in an absolute landslide. The question in Philadelphia has been the margin. Because what we saw in 2020 was ever so slightly, even as Democrats won the state and improved on 2016, Joe Biden actually lost a little bit of ground in Philadelphia. And the reason he lost a little bit of ground in Philadelphia was Donald Trump performed a little bit better in some heavily Hispanic parts of the city. So the question, another key question tonight has been, do Democrats win that back? Do they win back the ground they lost? Do they lose further ground? Now, you can see Biden won Philadelphia 81-18, essentially, in 2020. And right now, it's 79-20.
Gotten worse.
The key is this, as they count up, I keep saying the same day vote.
I'll tell you guys a true story. I've told you guys this before. If you never heard this story, it's a pretty cute story. Like when I was a kid, I was probably a 5th grade, 4th grade. Teacher wanted us to write to the state, I guess the state capitals of every state. And if you write to them, apparently they write back to you. That's the whole thing. They have like a whole department that returns correspondence from children from schools across the country. And she was like, okay, so she's going around the room and she was like, who wants this state? Who wants this state? Who wants this state? And everybody raised their hand for the state they wanted. And she's like, Hawaii. And I really wanted Hawaii for some reason because Hawaii's the coolest fucking state, right? I don't know why. It's just an island, right? And everybody wants to vacation there. I'm a fucking kid. I don't know no goddamn better. I ain't never been to Hawaii. Never going to Hawaii. It's like, fuck yeah, Hawaii. And I was so like over the top for Hawaii. She's like, Dusty, you get Hawaii. So I got to message Hawaii. And then she was like, with a bunch of other states. And she was like, Pennsylvania. And I was like, fuck yes. Me, and everybody was like, want Pennsylvania, but I was like super hyped for Pennsylvania because I thought it was Transylvania, the place where all the vampires come from. So I want it. She was like, Dusty, I've never seen anybody want Pennsylvania as much as you do. I was like, fuck yes. They're going to send me correspondence about bats and vampires and shit. So then I sent a letter off to Pennsylvania. And they sent me something back, and it was nothing about vampires. I was so disappointed. I was like, what the fuck even is this place? No impelling motherfuckers. Nothing's happening here. It's boring as shit. So anyway, that's my story about Pennsylvania. Fuck you guys, whatever.
There's a lot of fast-growing suburbs in here. Again, demographically very conducive to the Democratic coalition, right outside, right across the river from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So Democrats made gains here in 2020. This was actually a very good performance for Joe Biden. Now, you see with almost 3/4 of the vote in, Trump's a little bit short of that number. That was a bad number for him, and he's a little bit short of it now. But this is the thing to look for. With all of this remaining Election Day vote still to be counted, is Trump, we just saw this happen in Lackawanna County. Is that going to happen in Cumberland County? Is Trump going to gain enough that
No, there were no vamps in Pennsylvania at all. It was just like, hey, we have some Dutch motherfuckers here. Come on over for the Pennsylvania Dutch. And I was like, Dutch? That's the opposite of a goddamn vampire. I don't want to fucking go hang out with no goddamn Dutch motherfuckers. Fuck the Dutch.
With that Trump rally, believe it or not, Butler County in the Trump era, which started in 2016, while it's still deeply red, has actually gotten less red. This has been a bit of a growth area, suburbs right outside Pittsburgh, some rural areas too. The Democrats actually, I'll just show you, put it up on the screen here. This was actually a bit disappointing for Trump in 2020. Just go back here and you take a look. He won it by 37 points in 2016, only 32 in 2020. This is a place where Democrats would like.
All right, well, that's boring as fuck. Get off my screen. Die. All right, what else we got? Let's check the Twitter feed. Wait, the VP has to certify the election. Yeah, I guess. I think it has to be like Mike Johnson or something, right? She has the opportunity to do the funniest thing, but she won't because Democrats don't play fucking dirty. They probably should, but... All right, let's see this. What a scene. Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
And she feels very good about our chances, I think I can say, right?
In my state.
I think North Carolina, we're going to win North Carolina. We're going to win Pennsylvania.
That's right on what you call the Rust Belt, I think.
Oh my God, they're so weird. Space aliens, lizard people. I agree with David Icke all of a sudden. It absolutely fucking sucks to be right. Mike from PA doesn't seem very happy. What is he mad about? Okay, I guess he's not very confident, so that doesn't sound good. Are we losing? Elon Musk is in shambles. Republican early votes not exceed Democratic votes in New Jersey, normally a Democratic-leaning state. Okay. Harris finishing winner, New Jersey. Oh, shit, yeah! Well, I mean, that's not a yeah, though, because it's New Jersey, right? Look at the Jersey Shore fucking... sucky out there, just making out with everybody. I don't even fucking know. You gotta stay away from the club. That's all I know. So how is everyone feeling right now? Tipsy and a little bit stoned, to be honest with you. Thank you for asking to Twitter. Oh my God, RFK Jr. found his new, I was gonna say victim, but I guess it's not a victim if these young women want to have affairs with you. You go, you fucking Frankenstein, broken walkie-talkie voice gravel bitch. Join us at Mar-a-Lago though. Yep. Nice dress though. Should I back in, girl? I can see it. A voter claims he was forced to vote for Kamala Harris. No, you weren't. All right, let's watch this.
Just voted.
I did.
And who did you vote for?
For Harris.
And tell me about how you came to this decision.
So I wasn't going to vote at all until my girlfriend was blowing on my phone telling me to go vote. And if I didn't, she was going to break up with me.
Hell
so
yeah.
Now I'm here.
Best
Just
girlfriend
voted.
ever. Fuck yeah. Give that dude a blowjob. Suck that shit. Vadim, what's up, Vadim? I'm calling it now. 50 state landslide for Sink Uyghur. I don't think that's a bad call. I guess genocide wasn't a good election strategy. Well, what are you saying? Are we doing well? Am I not realizing how good we're doing? Are we killing it? And I'm just not seeing it? Some people seem confident, some people don't. I'm getting mixed signals here, Twitter. Let's get it done. I'm trying, Obama. I'm fucking in the goddamn trenches every day. Where you at? For the last 8 goddamn years. You've been on the fucking beach. What are the shit you're doing? I've been here fighting tooth and nail. Tell me to get it fucking done, old bumner. This is the guy saying people have Trump deranged. I'm drone. All right, let's see.
If the Dems win this election, they will legalize enough illegals to turn the swing states, and everywhere
They will
be like
legalize enough illegals. I mean, aren't you a legalized illegal? Wasn't every American pilgrim technically illegal until they legalize them or to vote? I mean, who's going to vote? Are we just going to, like, not fuck and not have any kids and the whole society just dies out? Or are we going to have somebody to wipe our ass? Like, I want, like, man, I don't want some Mexican person to wipe my ass, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like I'll need somebody to. I'd rather some Mexican person do it than, like, nobody. Elon Musk. I know you got some robots to wipe your ass when you get old and shit, but I ain't got no robots. I need some Mexicans. Just saying. I want to fuck off. Not looking good either, lesbian Elon Musk. A voter in Arizona told MSNBC he was on the fence, but decided to vote for Trump when Harris didn't go on the Joe Rogan podcast, literally. So it's probably what a bad idea, since Joe Rogan came out today and endorsed Donald Trump with a bunch of bullshit. Had Elon Musk on there to provide his platform to make sure Elon Musk got the biggest platform in the world to spread Donald Trump bullshit. So, I mean, he probably would have just sabotaged Kamala Harris, but Kamala Harris did offer to go on there. She offered to make time, an hour for him to come speak to her if he wanted to, and he decided he wanted to fucking do that. So, you know, this motherfucker wasn't going to vote for goddamn Kamala Harris anyway. It didn't change his mind because of Joe Rogan. He's just fucking saying that because they're about fucking nothing. Just say the dumbest fucking shit to try to get under people's skin. Hey, did you guys see the, man, I ain't gonna have no fucking show tomorrow because I'm just live doing everything I talk about on my goddamn show tomorrow. You guys get to see how the sausage is made, me sit around fucking drinking and daydreaming about what the fuck I'm gonna talk about anyway. So apparently this guy, it looks like a fucking dweeb to me. I don't know, but apparently you could be a dweeb and be a Navy SEAL. I think it's mostly just, you have to be really willing to take shit and just take it, and like, oh my God, you're out here in the fucking freezing cold, and we pour water on you, ice water on you, and you're standing 10 feet from a fucking fire, and if you quit, you lose, and they're just like, oh my God, I'll suck your dick, I'll do anything to be a Navy SEAL, I'll let you torture me for fucking ever, if that's how they can Navy SEALs. So, I mean, they're obviously, the perfect conservatives because they're willing to submit to any authority, what the fucksoever, to get approval. It's like conservatism 101. Anyway, here's the guy. This guy apparently is the guy that claims he shot Osama bin Laden. So, anyway, he really wants to enslave these young teenage boys to make them his sex slaves. And you're like, what? Yeah, that's my point exactly. It seems too crazy. It seems like I'm making that up, but I'm not. So anyway, so the guy who claims he killed Osama bin Laden went on Twitter and he says, hey, I'd really like to sexually enslave these Kamala Harris teens and rape them, apparently. And then everybody was like, hey, that's weird. Like, you're really weird that you want to sexually enslave young teenage boys and rape them. That's gay and weird. And anyway, so then he made a video after everybody said he was really weird to say that he wasn't weird, and this is that video.
So apparently some stuff on social media had come up because I made a comment about Harry Sisson, who might be the most beta male on the planet. He and 3 or 4 of his cunty little friends got together and they put out a thing that said, real men vote for Harris. I noticed their ages too, and I responded that you're not men, you're boys, and you're my concubines in the real world. And what I meant with that is, yeah, you would be. You don't know how to fight. You've never learned how to fight. And
I mean, like, to be honest with you, though, it's not the caveman days anymore. You don't have to really fight anymore. You can pull a trigger with, like, a pound of pressure, and like anybody. Like, remember what happened to that fucking Navy sniper? What's his name? Chris Kyle, or what the fuck his name was the guy that murdered 1 billion fucking people over in Iraq. And he just got murdered by some dipshit, like some guy that didn't know training, because like a bullet kills everybody. You ain't gotta fucking fight. What are you talking about? This is the way I feel. Like, sometimes I'm like 50, and in my journey to 50, along the way, I've thought to myself, hey, maybe you should take jiu-jitsu courses. Maybe you should go work out more. Maybe you should learn how to fight in case anybody punches you. And then, like, I'm 50. No one's ever punched me. Because what I figured out is, like, you just carry a knife. And if they want to punch you, you just stab them. And then, like, if you let them know, like, everybody knows if you punch me, you get stabbed. Everybody knows that. Like, there's not a motherfucker on the planet that's around me that doesn't know that you get stabbed if you punch me. And nobody's ever punched me because no one wants to get stabbed. So you ain't got to learn how to fucking fight. You just got to learn how to carry a knife. Like, it's the modern era. We don't have to fight anymore. We got weapons now. You're outdated, dude. You nerdy son of a fuck.
I basically will do whatever I want with you. So that's all I meant. Wasn't trying to insult anybody or whatever, but trust me, guys like Harry Sisson, couldn't do a goddamn thing. They'd be running for guys like me to save them. So basically, saying concubine means a slave, and Sisson is apparently French for fucking cunt.
Yeah, super cool. So apparently that's the guy that killed Osama bin Laden, according to him. And he's a super alpha male, manly man, I guess. I don't see it. Whatever. I guess he was a Navy SEAL and I'm not, so what are you going to do? 4 minutes of Elon Musk talking to Joe Rogan. Nah. All right, let's look at Kayla McKenna boast about Florida defeating Amendment 4. I guess Florida voted down abortion because, of course, they did.
I think should be discussed, hasn't been discussed, but it might have bigger implications for the Republican Party moving Florida. And that is the fact that the Republican Party has lost every pro-life ballot initiative post-Dobbs until tonight in Florida, when you see Amendment 4 went down. And the difference was you had a leader, you had a governor, Governor DeSantis, who owned the issue, who talked about the issue, who was out on the airwaves on the issue. And I'm told by some sources...
Don't fucking talk about me getting robbed for weed. I didn't have my knife on me. And so he pulled his knife first. So even if I did have my knife on me, that's before I started carrying, really, to be honest with you. But even if I did have my knife, he pulled his first, which means he won. If you pull your knife on me first, it's yes, sir, no, sir, what can I do for you today? Half of my money. That's the only correct response. I'm not going to fucking try to knife fight some motherfucker. Hell no. You want my $300? You got a knife? You got my $300. All right, it ain't worth my life. Whatever. Whatever has to happen to get me out of the situation without it being stabbed. That's what I'm all about.
Familiar with these 10 initiatives happening across the country. They're hopeful in Nebraska. Why? You had Pete Ricketts lean into the issue. So that might be a lesson that's instructive moving forward to the party. You've got to speak on this issue because hiding from it thus far has not worked.
Let's just say this, Trey, that both of these candidates at this hour still have a path to 270.
I think should be discussed.
Oh, my God, she's so fucking awful. I guess she did a great job for Donald Trump. Exactly what she wanted, what he wanted, like an info babe who could be bitchy to the press. I mean, honestly, though, she's better than what Joe Biden has, to be honest with you, though. At least she doesn't smirk while she talks about genocide and the murder of her children and just giddily lie right to our fucking faces. Sort of refreshing. Isaiah Banks. Oh, is that what she looks like? I know she's a singer, but I've never heard a single Isaiah Banks song. The only reason I know who she is because I did a video about one time she made a video. And in the video that she made, she opened up her closet and she slaughtered a bunch of chickens in her closet and spilled a bunch of blood to do a bunch of voodoo and shit. It was all disgusting. And I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, she's supporting Kamala Harris, so I guess that's better than voodoo. Isaiah Banks shares that she has decided to vote for Kamala Harris. Good. Apparently she's at least that smart. Yeah, I definitely I never stabbed nobody, though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not pretending to be a tough guy. I'm not like Joe Pesci from Goodfellas or what is the one who went to Vegas? What are any of those movies? I ain't fucking Joe Pesci, but don't punch me because I will fucking definitely stab you. This is exactly the reason Jill Stein was running. I don't understand this. And this is why you don't vote third party. Oh, because she's the spoiler. Okay. But this is exactly why Reese just was running. Oh, okay. So he's saying that she was specifically running to sabotage Kamala Harris. That's his point. Okay, I get it. Maybe. I don't really think that's the truth, though. I don't think she's specifically running to sabotage Kamala Harris. I think that she's running because she wants attention for herself. I think she does have some good policy positions and issues and whatnot, but she is so far out of the mainstream, she has no possible ability to win anything. So she knows that she'll most likely pull votes away from Kamala Harris, but she doesn't care, you know. she's more interested in getting attention for herself, which I understand. That's what you have to do as a politician. That's like really the whole fucking point. Just fuck everybody else, right? I'm so sick of 6 inbred children of the corn deciding if I live or die. Abolish the Electoral College. Yeah, but I mean, Democrats have had both houses, right? They've had plenty of opportunity to abolish the Electoral College or try, and they've never fucking made any attempt at it whatsoever. It's almost like they're controlled opposition, specifically meant to lose on goddamn purpose. I mean, why? If you're the Democrats and you've won almost every popular vote for the last 40 fucking years, would you not eliminate the one thing that keeps you from getting the presidency if you have the power? I mean, born fucking losers. Am I a clown to you? How am I funny? Explain to me how. Just one thing. How I'm funny. The New York Times says there's a 79% chance Trump wins. Oh, what? No. What? Oh, come on. Come on. Really, America? Really? No. Our election model decides the outcome of the race in real time based on polling data. The voted report so far we expected. Man. I'm hoping the New York Times is wrong, right? That's disappointing, but like, they're probably not, right? They're New York Times. They suck shit. I've signed up and canceled my New York Times subscription so many fucking times because fuck these elitist motherfuckers are the goddamn worst. They're probably fucking right. Whatever. I'm pulling it together. Fuck off. I'm doing a great job, to be honest with you. I'm on. I'm doing this. I wasn't going to do it. At least I'm here with you guys so we can all be in this together. So you don't have to be a goddamn alone. Win or lose. At least we're fucking in this together. Alright, what else we got? Go to the fucking top. Don't go to the... Damn, I was sure Dick Cheney endorsement would... most lethal military stuff was going to put Kamala Harris in the sweeping victory. Oh my God, I guess we're lost. I guess we lost. It looks like everybody is not feeling the momentum. Am I being too pessimistic? I need Elon to suffer. I know. Oh my God. I'm just thinking of all the fucking televangelists and all the preachers. They're all going to say the same thing. Hey, we told you Trump was going to be elected again. Okay? We got God's message wrong. We thought that he said it was going to be the last election, but he was clearly telling us it was going to be this election. So it proves that we are actually messengers of God, prophets. They're going to make so much fucking money. Be an asteroid. I'm with you. I'm not giving up yet, though. Stephen Miller's losing it. All right, good. All right, okay. Stephen Miller is losing it as Kamala's destroying them and all of Hell. Yes, this is what I want to hear. This is 3 hours old, though. 3 hours old, so that's a million years. Anyway, I'll take it. Stephen Miller says, what are you doing right now to turn out the Trump vote? I'm actively trying to suppress the Trump vote. Calling, texting, none of these things. Emailing, fuck no. Driving to the polls, are you out of your goddamn mind? Turn out the vote? Hell no. What has the slob Ted Cruz done for Texas? Nothing, but Texas is the worst. Everything's bigger in Texas, especially the fucking assholes Texas. Oh my God, the worst. If you have an opportunity to go to Texas, don't go. Just boycott the whole fucking trash heap. Fuck these people. Imagine. Your whole thing is we're alpha males. We're big, tough, studly, manly man. We're Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. We're fucking John Wayne. We're goddamn cowboys. We're the baddest of the bad. And they're electing Ted Cruz to represent you. Oh, my God. And he is a great representative of Texas, to be honest with you. Because just like him, they're fake as fuck. These bitch tit, never seen their dick in 3 generations, fat cowboy hat wearing losing motherfuckers. Ted Cruz is absolutely the perfect representation of you. Loser like every fucking one of you. Fuck Texas. What else we got? Okay. Election 2024. Is that Ethan Klein having sex with... maybe I'm reading too much into it. What are we, Mr. Trump? I don't even know what I'm looking at. Wow. Breakdown, Trump is elected president. What? No. What? No. What? Oh, that's 2016. Okay. Nope. All right. Got a little ahead of myself. About to die inside a little bit, all of it. CNN tracking how many white people without college degrees voted for Trump. Yeah, there's a big divide, I read, between people who are educated and people who are not educated. Because, of course, they are. But, I mean, I guess everybody's vote should count the same. So, I guess it's just democracy. So, people earlier on my Twitter was like, oh, my God, you going to cry if Trump wins? And I'm like, it's not good, but, like, I'm going to accept it because that's reality. Unlike you motherfuckers who never accept anything. You lost the first time. You still ain't ever fucking accepted it. You're a whiny goddamn piss baby. So I'm not going to be like you. No. I'm going to fucking accept it and deal with it and move on my goddamn life because that's what a adult does, right? I'm the opposite of you, bitch. Trying to use that as an insult for me. My time here is almost over, at least until next big event. Oh, Dark Matter. I love Dark Matter. He's fucking jacked. He's the guy that makes those atheist cartoons. It's pretty cool. I wish I could say it has been fun, but every time I come back, this place is both meaner and more delusional. Yeah, that's true. It is too bad because I've met some really great people here. Like, you don't need to be on Twitter. Just watch my show. Like, literally, anything that happens that's worth covering, I'll cover. You ain't got to fucking be on there, Dark Matter. All right, let's check MSNBC again to see how depressed we should be.
Is investigating bomb threats in multiple states. We've also seen, I've been looking at some of the local press in Georgia. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution is headlining what they say is concern that has been expressed to them, sharp concerns expressed to them by the Harris campaign about the potential effect of these bomb threats. Again, there aren't bombs. There are just bomb threats being phoned in order to disrupt and clear out polling places. We've seen a number of both court-adjudicated and election administrators deciding to keep places open longer than they otherwise would have been, because those places had to be cleared out. But there's always, of course, the threat that somebody who has to go home when they're sent home when a place is evacuated, or somebody who's deterred from going in the first place, might not come back once the all clear is given. All right, looking ahead, at this point, it's 10:41 on the East Coast. We're heading toward a few more poll closings at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 1 a.m. Steve, though, is not waiting for poll closings. He's just watching the vote come in. Steve, looks like you're looking at Michigan right now.
Yeah, in Michigan, and again, it's very scattered here, but there are a couple of big places I want to look at because they might be offering us some clues. Again, we say with some of these bigger counties, we have questions going into the night, specific questions about counties that, could be extrapolated potentially more broadly. Meaning, let's take a look here at one of the biggest. We flagged this one at the start of the night. This is Oakland County. This is a big, giant suburban county just outside Detroit, and this is of the two big suburban counties just north of Detroit. This is the Democratic one. This is the one, with a lot of college-educated, higher-income types, a lot of bedroom communities here. So look at this. 2/3 of the vote is now counted in Oakland County, and Harris is winning. The Democrats are supposed to win here. Her margin's inside 10 points. It's less than a 50,000 vote, raw vote margin here. I want to show you what this does in the context of other recent races. In 2020, this was a 14-point win for Joe Biden. And in 2016, this was an 8-point win for Hillary Clinton. And I don't think I need to tell you, this wasn't enough to win Michigan for Hillary Clinton. This was more than enough for Joe Biden to win Michigan. And this right now looks an awful lot like this. Remember our test coming into the night, one of them was to compare Oakland to its next-door neighbor, Macomb. Macomb is blue right now. This is the blue-collar, Trump-friendly suburban county. There's almost no vote that's been counted there, so yet to be seen how this is going to measure up. But one of the reasons Democrats were able to win Michigan, why Joe Biden was able to win Michigan 4 years ago, was this. He was able to run up a monster number in a gigantic, highly populated suburban county, and it more than offset Trump's strength in the other gigantic blue-collar suburban county. This is a number, if this holds, that the Trump people would be very happy with. The Democrats want that back where it was in 2020. One other county that I think we can look at here and get a bit of a clue from, this is just outside of Lansing, and this is one at the start of the night that the Democrats looked at. They would have said, we want to flip this county tonight. Let me just show you. It got super close in 2020. Joe Biden came less than a point away from winning it here. It had been a 5-point Trump county in 2016. Again, this is one of those places, the reason why Joe Biden was able to make the gains in Michigan, a big sort of suburban county, outside Lansing here. Biden nearly won it. And again, this 95% basically means all the vote is now in Eaton County.
So here's kind of where I'm at with this. So the last election, Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, election night 4 years ago, I was invited to go hang out at some other live stream, and I went and hung out with a bunch of other left-wing people, and we're covering it, and it looked like Donald Trump was going to win, and I kind of resounded myself on the show to Donald Trump winning, and the next day Joe Biden actually won. So try not to let a repeat of that happen. Maybe be more optimistic this time.
Donald Trump. He won the state of Michigan in 2016, winning here by about just under 30 points. And his margin tonight is looking more so far like 2016 than it is 2020. This is a pattern that's being repeated. We're showing you, not a lot of counties in Michigan have this much vote in, but in those that are, we're starting to see this.
Man, it looks like he's going to fucking win, folks. And I was talking to Jeff earlier, and Jeff was like, every person I know, 100% of them are going to vote for Donald Trump. And when I play the New World game, so they had this built-in voice thing where you can talk and everybody can hear you, but you don't have to talk back or anything. You don't have to turn your headset or your microphone on, but if people want to talk to you, they can. It's an MMORPG. And so the area you're in, you can hear whoever's talking, and you're sometimes at the bank looking at your shit. You hear other people talking, and everybody that's talking is continuously talking about how they want Trump to win. All the boys do. The men in this country, 100% are behind Donald Trump. It's crazy.
13. Look at that. 4 years ago, he won it by 8. This is exactly what the Trump campaign said it was going to do in a place like Burke County. It was going to take that and it was going to make it double digits. They've made it double digits in Burke County. We check in on Luzerne County. And again, we've been talking about this one. As that same day vote comes in, this is Wilkes-Barre, this is Hazleton, another county with a substantial Hispanic population, one of the highest in Pennsylvania. Now Trump has hit his 2020 number there.
Damn. Oh, my God. I can't believe this shit. Oh, well, I guess. Oh, man. What are you going to do other than accept it, right? Other than be the opposite in every way that they were. Making up excuses, lying to yourself. Instead of that, I guess the only thing you can do is just accept reality for the way it fucking is and try to make the best of it.
That's something that encourages that his campaign exactly wanted to see right there. We're starting to get Erie County. Again, this would be the vote by mail in Erie County. The story we've been talking about elsewhere now is going to play out in Erie.
Yeah, it's not over yet. I'm not trying to be too depressing. Let's get excited. Woo! Yeah! Let's hype it up. Let's refresh this. This is behind, though. It's 10 minutes behind. Let's see what else they got on MSNBC.
we're seeing in multiple states now, the Hispanic vote. Why did Trump make some progress? It was small, but it was there in Philadelphia in 2020. It was because he improved with Hispanic voters in Hispanic areas of the city. With 2/3 of the vote in Philadelphia now, it's 77-21. Well, that looks terrible, but compare that to 2020 and look at that. Trump is running 3.5 points better in Philadelphia than he did in 2020. Harris now 4 points off the Biden number. There is more mail to come, more vote by mail to come in Philadelphia. That will be a boost to Harris, but there's also more same-day vote to come. And you can see Trump is running above his 2020 levels there. So where this lands, the Trump campaign's goal in Philadelphia, it was basically
Don't nobody kill yourself. Look. All right, so if Trump wins, it's going to be embarrassing. Yeah, but like he's already won. It's already been embarrassing. We've already been belittled. We've already been lessened, humiliated. Yes, Trump is going to do a bunch of horrible things, and he's going to try to do a bunch of other horrible things. But the good news is he's fucking incompetent. He can't literally do anything he sets his mind to. He's bankrupted, 6 companies? So most of the shit he says he's going to do, he's not actually going to do. He's just saying whatever the fuck he thinks he's going to need to say to get elected, right? Try not to freak out. Don't let your friend kill themselves.
Republicans are really hoping to hold on to this governor's seat, and in Kelly Ayotte's victory in New Hampshire, they have done so. One other projection for you, and it's a ballot measure, this one in Colorado. This is one of the 10 states that has an abortion rights measure on the ballot in Colorado. This is Amendment 79, it's a right to abortion, insurance coverage, it's a related matter. NBC News projects that the abortion rights measure in Colorado will pass. So we're heading up toward the 11 o'clock hour. We'll have poll closings in California, Idaho, Washington.
Who's going to win California, I wonder?
Oregon. And things are starting, I would say, to come into focus because it's later, but we still have not a single swing state called.
One thing I will just say, I'm not trying to be rosy all the time at all, but this always happens on election nights where the bigger cities where Democrats have the bigger share of the vote come in later. And there are a lot of...
that's true. That did happen the first time, folks. When I was on that show, I was like, depressed. I was like, this is who America is. We voted Donald Trump in again. This is who we are. We're just garbage. And then Biden won, so maybe. We'll see.
We talk a lot about national security issues. They don't always get front and center attention. Andy Kim, who you just mentioned, he is a former national security official, worked within the Obama administration. Alyssa Slotkin, we don't know what's going to happen in that race. That's her background as well. We'll see what happens in California with Adam Schiff. But it's interesting because we're also seeing sort of a bit of a changing.
Oh, hey, thanks, Carla McMickle. I didn't mention the super chats are on. If you guys want to support tonight's 100% sober podcast and support me showing you my beautiful sober face, super chats. Hi, everyone. Everybody's doomsaying, but I think we'll win no matter what. All right, I want to smoke the hopium too. I am not trying to be a doomer. I want to believe.
To clean the Capitol in the wake of the insurrection, but also just like both well-spoken and compassionate, like a solid leader, and to see him move into that sort of next.
I'm starting to think Rachel Maddow might be a lesbian. I don't know, guys.
Good on New Jersey. You'll never be sorry that you've got Andy Kim representing you in the United States Senate. Sure. So that's a good one. As we head towards California, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, again, these aren't states that are thought of as swing states in terms of the presidency.
Don't you?
But they're going to be really, really important, particularly in terms of who's in control in the United States House. So we know that a lot of the Western states count very slowly, particularly California. We'll get our first look.
What the fuck? Why even talk about California? California is even a question. Oh my God, who's California going to go for? Shut the fuck up, Rachel Maddow. All right, the Trump campaign is feeling increasingly optimistic. People inside Donald Trump's campaign are feeling increasingly optimistic as the initial numbers roll in Tuesday night. The optimism is boosted by results in Virginia and Iowa, which appear to prove wrong a poll that sent a shockwave to the campaign Saturday night. Okay. I mean, we are what we are, folks, right? Nothing you can do about it but accept it. Not going to be like them. We're going to take responsibility. Going to figure out what went wrong and continue to fight and push forward. And
200,000 vote margin that Democrats got out of Mecklenburg County 4 years ago. Not quite enough to win the state, but the name of the game for them tonight was build on that. Drive that over 200,000 with 90% in. There is still some votes to come in, so this is going to change, but you can see clearly the difference here is sitting at less than 175,000. So instead of going north of 200,000, it is on pace to finish south of where they were 4 years ago. So that's a significant development. Democrats looking at North Carolina all night have wanted something giant to come out of Mecklenburg. We just basically got Mecklenburg. That's what it is. The other one that I think is notable, we don't quite have all of it, but in Wisconsin, again, nearing 60% of the vote in statewide, razor thin. But again, one of those questions we asked at the start of the night, getting some clarity, and it's in the most Democratic vote producing margin county in the state, Dane County. Almost 90% of the vote in here. We're getting close to all the vote in Dane County. Significance here, Democrats rely so much on Dane County in Wisconsin now because they've lost so much ground in the rural areas of this state. I said at the start of the night.
Al Jazeera for the most accurate polls. All right, so what does Al Jazeera say? I'll fucking listen to anything. And yeah, 4 years ago, I definitely was depressed, thought Trump was going to win, just like I am now. I am 100% hoping to be proven wrong.
Hit that number and go further, like they have in every election this century in Dane County, with about 90% and still some votes to come. But you can see how far short they are of that number. 149,000 right now. 182 was the number back in 2020. This is the county Democrats rely on here. Also, in the WOW counties, the question coming in tonight, the WOW counties being the big.
No, so like at some point, we might just want to admit and accept that our society is very misogynistic. Like, we're just not going to vote for a woman. We're just not. Like, 51% of the population, 56 presidencies, and they've got none? Definitely not because there wasn't a single woman in the history of America that was qualified to be president or was the best pick. It's something else, right? Some kind of caveman shit that is preventing us from picking a woman to lead us in this goddamn country. Just more toxic masculinity, obviously, but how do we get past that? How do we wake these young men up? How do we rescue their brains from the likes of Steven Crowder and Tim Pool and all these other Twitch streamers who say the N-word and say faggot and retard every other word and are hilarious, and make them remember why they think the professional wrestlers that are the bad guys are the coolest? How do we overcome that, right?
Is in Fulton County at the elections hub there where the votes in Georgia's most populous county are being tabulated. What can you tell us, Blaine?
Well, Rachel, I have an update on timing for you. I just spoke with a spokesperson from Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger's office. He tells me that they expect to see the vast majority of Georgia votes uploaded by midnight tonight. Now, that's certainly notable when you talk about the timing, when you talk about what Georgia's going to look like. But he does say that they believe that the state is on track to have most of those results uploaded. So let's look inside here in Fulton County. As you mentioned, the state's most populous county. This is where the tabulations are happening. I want to walk you through this process. It's been.
All right, let's see how depressed Twitter is. Like I'm covering a train wreck in real time. All right, let's see. I was 100% convinced, says no longer a weasel, Cal Kalinske. The posters were hurting. I was wrong. These results are completely consistent with what the polls were showing. Oh, he doesn't seem very confident. I don't want to say I told you so, but this run to the moderate looks like a spectacular failure. Lethal military, muscular border policy, And parading Liz Cheney didn't swing votes in Dems' favor and only worked to normalize Republican positions. Seems like Hassan Abbey is throwing in the towel. Destiny, it's over. I'm calling it Harris wins. So he's a troll. He's just being opposite. So, wow, what a piece of shit. Either side can still win, says Sink. But here's what turned out to be bullshit. A Kamala Harris landslide. I knew I shouldn't have believed all the optimistic Democrats who were buried in their delusional bubble. Here's a lesson, Democrats, we will never learn. People hate the establishment. I mean, she wasn't the best pick, but anybody should win over Trump. But like I told you guys over and over again, for whatever reason, and I can't explain it, she would rather murder children than be the first female president of the United States. And I don't know if that means like they have something on her. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I guess the more logical answer is that she really thought that if she came out against the genocide, that AIPAC would come out against her, and that would be worse for her than the vote she lost for supporting the genocide. I guess maybe that's what she was thinking, but none of it makes sense, to be honest with you. So many people told her that if she continues the Joe Biden position, if she has to come out and speak out against it, she's going to fucking lose. And either she didn't believe them or she doesn't fucking care, or they have something on her that she can't, like, or she won't. I can't explain it, to be honest with you. God, this disaster, I can't believe this. I can totally believe it. Like, I literally have been, I've been trying to be soft about it. But I've been telling you guys over and over and over again that I think a lot of you are not prepared for Trump winning. You think Kamala's going to win. You think cooler heads are going to prevail, and it's obviously going to happen, but that is not a foregone conclusion. And the reason I've been telling you guys this is I didn't want you to freak out or quote-unquote kill yourself or be super depressed. I wanted you to resound yourself to this possibility that I think a lot of people in my audience just weren't ready for. And I didn't want to be a part of that. I didn't want to be a part of you not being ready for what might be the real possibility. That's why I covered the things in the way that I did. That's why I said the things that I did. Regardless of what reality is, we have to accept it because it's not going to change because we don't want to believe it's true. Yes, Trump is a rapist, best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, but it doesn't matter. He is the most American president ever. Doesn't mean he's a good president. Doesn't mean he's the best president. Just means he's the most American president we've ever had by far. Trump is the epitome of America. He's the best representative of America we could possibly have if we want to be real about it. I think they should have kept sending Bill Clinton to Arab countries, communities, to tell them their relatives are to die. Yep. They didn't listen. They don't give a shit. Israel rules us. Even the Democrats would rather lose than stand up against Israel. What are you going to do? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really wish that I could, I don't want to lie to you guys. I really wish that I could tell you guys the truth, and that truth was that we will overcome them and we'll beat them, and at the end, they will not rule us. I guess I'm just too honest because I'm not sure that's the truth. They fucking own us, dude. They own us. Will they always own us? Probably. They probably will always own us. I don't see any change. Literally, this woman would rather not be the first female black Indian president than challenge them. Like, That's the craziest thing I can think of, to be honest with you. She's going up. All right. All right. My hopium. Kick my hopium in. We're going to refresh this. Let's go. We're going up. We're going up. Let's go back to MSNBC. Are we doing it?
Bisbee in Cochise County, Arizona. The county building was evacuated as a result of that bomb threat. Again, we are seeing, and the FBI is confirming, and local officials are commenting, and local state secretaries of state are commenting on the effect of these bomb threats called into polling places and now counting centers all across the country. None of these bomb threats is thought to be associated with an actual bomb, with anything actually exploding. There hasn't been any sign of that whatsoever. These appear to be false bomb threats that are designed to disrupt. The FBI says in at least some of these cases, these are attributable to Russia, or they are investigating whether or not these may be of Russian origin.
Yeah, Russia. They bought our country, I guess. Man, I feel sorry for Vladimir Zelensky, man. Imagine, like, going from being an actor to the president in the middle of a war for the existence of your country, and the determination on whether all the people you sent to their death meant anything. All the money you spent, all the children that died because of your retaliation, all of that came down to Donald Trump. Poor dude.
I think that waiting for these blue wall states to come in because they're so close, because households are divided, right? There could be a yard sign in a house that doesn't represent how everyone in the house will vote in either direction. And so I think it's going to be a late night. And I think it's the polls. I mean, I guess a slice of good news that the polls have accurately captured this dead heat.
Ari,
doesn't look like dead heat. Looks like he's up by 100.
We've got the swing states. We've got too close, too close, too close, too close in Georgia, and then the blue wall, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. And we've got too early in North Carolina, too early in Arizona, Nevada. What's caught your eye? What have you been watching?
Well, freedom's just another word for nothing left to report. we all know that one.
Oh, somebody says Bitcoin is spiking. All right, let's see. Let's see what Bitcoin is. I haven't checked Bitcoin in a while because I would never, ever invest in Bitcoin. 70. Oh, my God. What? What the fuck? Why? Because Donald Trump is the odds-on favorite to win. Bitcoin is spiking. Oh, my God. Okay, well. I don't know how to feel about this. As someone who would never invest every penny they own into Bitcoin, and to seeing it spike at the thought that Donald Trump might be president, I'm still against it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm still against it, even though I might have made some money. It doesn't matter, though, folks. Like, I don't really give a shit about that.
More than one state in a day. She spent her final day campaigning, doing all 5 stops in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The campaign, and we've heard from a lot of people there that still feel that's the path. While at the same time, and I've heard some of the interesting conversation at this table, at the same time, Donald Trump, over in the entire country in places that may not decide the election, doing better among certain groups is a striking and noticeable development given the year he's had and how he closed. But yes, I will tell you that the boring thing.
Man, I won't sell my Bitcoin. I really think that Bitcoin, I shouldn't even say this because people think that I'm trying to make money by selling you guys Bitcoin. I don't want to come off like that, but it's just don't buy Bitcoin because of what I'm saying right now. I'm just telling you what I think. I think Bitcoin is going to be the reserve storage of wealth in the future, like gold is, basically. And I think it's just going to go up and up and up. Bitcoin's going to go up forever compared to the United States dollar because because of inflation and the fact they're printing money, Bitcoin will just go forever. That's just the way it's going to happen. That's why I told you guys when it was 28,000, I told you guys to buy it, and it's 74,000 now. So.
Election. He was up against Allison Esposito, a Republican opponent who had been very heavily invested in by the Republican Party. She was one of the so-called young gun candidates for the Republican Party, served in the NYPD for 25 years. But Democrat Pat Ryan will hold on to that seat in New York 18. I also have to tell the...
So Bitcoin is not really crypto. Crypto is sort of it's similar, but it's different. It's hard to explain to you, but so there are shit coins and there are Bitcoins. There's really only one real cryptocurrency, and that's Bitcoin, and everything else is just fake.
Steve. But, yes. Steve.
It's not literally a Ponzi scheme, though. Like, I used to believe that. Like, if you've ever watched the old shows, I used to talk about this all the time. Hit Bitcoin to zero. I used to shit on Bitcoin all the time, hate Bitcoin, thought it was a fucking scam. It was a greater full con, basically. I've done so many shows about this, but then it changed. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but Bitcoin became bona fide. It was completely justified to believe it was a scam, not to invest in it, to believe something else to come along to replace it, all of that, until BlackRock got involved in it. And then once that happened, Bitcoin basically became the reserve currency for the
Mail. The question is, as the rest of the vote comes in, which we know is Republican friendly.
So Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin bad for the environment thing, it's complicated. So Bitcoin is becoming better and better for the environment as the halvening happens. It happens every 4 years, where they have to have the amount you make for how much Bitcoin you mine, which means you have to use more energy sources that are renewable in order to make money off mining Bitcoin. So yes, Bitcoin was initially front-loaded with a very heavy energy load, but in the long run, it should dissipate a bit. But while you're at it, you should look up how much you watching Netflix adds to your carbon footprint. Everything does.
Lehigh County, the city of Allentown is in Lehigh County. It is a majority Hispanic county. Both candidates paid a lot of attention to this. The Trump folks have bet on making gains with Hispanic voters, particularly in cities like Allentown in Pennsylvania. We don't have all the returns in from the city of Allentown yet, but what we do have shows Trump making significant further gains in that city. We also have from Monroe County just about all the vote in. This is the city of Stroudsburg, East Stroudsburg is here. Again, substantial growing Latino population. And look at this. In 2020, Joe Biden won here by 6.5 points. Kamala Harris now ahead by 0.7 of a point.
What's up, John? We're just here doing a live coverage of the election tonight. And apparently some of you out there are drinking, which, whatever. Like, you have your freedom to do whatever you want to do.
And he lost meaningful ground in 2020 when he lost all three of those states. And we keep seeing this tonight. Where he's landing tonight is back where he landed in 2016. These were winning numbers for Trump.
I know
these were losing.
You guys want me to pretend like it's not as bad as it is. But here's the thing. Like, all right, so say we're out down in the mouth. We're losing. It's halftime. We're down by 20 points, and we come back to win. Then the victory would be so much sweeter. So just ride with what's happening.
I want you to see the longer term trend here. In fact, I can take it all the way back to 2012 because I think it's an interesting story. In 2012, Barack Obama won this county by 71 points. Okay, the county, it's Philadelphia. It's the city of Philadelphia. Donald Trump in 2016, he brought it down to 67 points. In 2020, Trump lost ground in the state. Trump lost the entire state of Pennsylvania. But look at this. He basically brought it down to 63 points from 71, 67, 63. And tonight, right now, this is down to 56 points. From 71 in 2012 down to 56. Again, what are we seeing here? What we saw in 2020, the Hispanic precincts of Philadelphia, we saw meaningful improvement for Donald Trump. We're not talking about 10, 20, 30 points.
Man, Hispanics really hate other Hispanics, right? I dare you try to come over here and make a better life for your family and yourself. Fuck you. We got ours and pull the ladder behind us. That's Republican as fuck, isn't it?
Now there is a large number of vote by mail ballots that are going to be released. Looking at my clock here, we think in the next 45 minutes or so. That should boost the Harris number in Philadelphia. Okay. That should boost the margin there. But she needs to get that back at least to where Joe Biden was 4 years ago. She needs to get that margin way up. I'm just going to take a quick look through the collar counties here because I think we're starting to get some meaningful vote. Again, these collar counties, especially Delaware, Chester, and Montgomery County.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot more lately, to be honest with you. I try to quit drinking, but it's so boring. Life is so boring, sober. Like, what the fuck? How do you guys do it? I guess I'm what you call like a functional alcoholic, because like I don't drink on the days I do my shows, and even though I'm drinking, like I can work. But holy God, it's so fucking boring. All right, let's see what CNN has to say. Oh no, let's check the Twitter. Let's see. Let's check the suicide watch. Somebody kill me, please. Okay, the Vanguard has given up. The Vanguard. So they're. I like the Vanguard, by the way. They're these two young bucks. They're probably 22 young kids, and I'm assuming they took inspiration from like people like me and TJ, who had YouTube channels for a long time, but decided to make their own podcast where they're like a left-wing podcast, and they cover all this stuff. And they've been 100% talking about how obviously Kamala Harris is going to win, and anybody that's voting against Kamala Harris is going to lose all their money, and it's free money. Voting for Kamala Harris, they were 100% psyched and 100% believing Kamala Harris is going to win. So not the best seeing them seem a little disheartened, to be honest with you. Welp, yep. But so like this is exactly what happened the other time, though, to be honest with you. This is what happened when I was on that podcast 4 years ago. So hopefully there's like a bunch of mail-in votes for Kamala Harris. They ain't counted yet. I don't know if they're actually doing that again this year or not. No, Trump hasn't won yet. It's just looking like he is on the road to winning. But like, so here's the thing. Like, so yes, it's terrible if Trump wins, but if Trump wins, like, what I'm about to say is awful. So take this with a grain of salt. But if Trump wins, that means anything is possible. It means nothing matters. It means you can do anything with no consequences. It's basically freeing. You could be the biggest piece of shit in the world openly, continuously, and then have all the best things happen to you. So just go nuts. Fuck this reality, right? Fuck everybody else. Burn this whole goddamn place to the ground. Once again, I'm only joking. This is a joke. Don't do that. I just can't process that Trump would have more support than he did in 2020. After COVID, January 6th, Roe, the felonies, everything that happened, how could people possibly be more likely to vote for him? Because, and this is so depressing to say, no matter how horrible you think your fellow human being is, they're worse than that. No matter how dumb you think your neighbor is, and I know that you know how dumb they are, they're far more stupid than you could possibly imagine. This country is literally fucking retarded. We are cognitively impaired. We are mental fucking children. Unfortunately, and that's true regardless if Kamala wins or not. The fact that it's even this close. Like, one of the worst things is going to have to watch all these Republicans celebrate and put it in our face and shit on us. But if you watch my show, you already know. One of the main subjects I talk about time and time again is how in this reality, the worst behavior, the worst people get rewarded over and over and over again. So you have two choices. You could become incredibly fucking depressed. I guess you have three choices, really. You can become incredibly fucking depressed, or you can join them. You can just sell out every bit of morals you ever told yourself that you had, and you can join them. Or you can be depressed, or you can just fucking accept it. All right, you can just accept it, right? You realize that this reality is too absurd to take too seriously. It's a fucking joke. We live in some kind of dystopian timeline. Now, whether this is on purpose or not, whether there's some architect, some programmer who was purposely making this dark comedy for us, for whatever reason, our entertainment, their entertainment, who knows? Or maybe none of that's fucking true. Maybe that's just the way fucking shit is. But either way, you have to accept reality for what it fucking is, and then try to overcome it and make the best of it for yourself without giving into it and allowing yourself to become part of the evil instead of part of the good. I can't believe this is real. I mean, I can. Like, if you watch my show, like, I've been trying to so delicately condition my audience for this because I was really worried. There were a lot of people in my audience who weren't really taking it seriously, and there were, to be honest with you. There were so many people telling me that I was delusional, that she was going to win in a landslide. Like, why am I even entertaining an alternative thought? And it's because I understand. I don't want to say that. It sounds like conceited. I've been observing this country for 50 years, and I see this country sort of for what it is, and I didn't have more faith in this country than was necessary based on my previous observations. And I was just trying to soften the blow for you guys in case this did happen. I really miss seeing you, Dusty. I don't want you guys to see me right now. My hair is all fucked up. I'm just laying in bed. I am sober, but not 100%. So here to laugh at you. Okay, I'll laugh away. If that makes you feel better about you, then laugh. If I've done something to you that you feel that you need to come and mock me for, to laugh at me for, if that in any way makes your life better, if that makes you feel better as a human being to laugh at me, then I love you enough to want you to do that. Because it doesn't have an effect on me. It doesn't change my life at all. Like, literally, if Donald Trump wins, my life will be better. I'm one of the few, one of the very few. Because I literally cover politics. Zero doubt that Donald Trump and the crazy cult members that follow him are going to be far more entertaining to cover than whatever Kamala Harris does. I'm going to make so much more money if Donald Trump wins. But I have chosen to go against my own personal best interest, monetarily at least, because I know how horrible that would be for the rest of the world. And I've tried to advocate for what I think would be best for the rest of the world. But, like, at the same time, if it makes you feel better to laugh and receive joy at the pain of others, then do it. Whatever you need to get by, right? To me, that sounds kind of pathetic, to be honest with you. To me, that sounds pitiful. It sounds like your life is not going really great, and so you have to revel in the misery of others to make yourself feel better because you understand what an abject fucking loser that you are, an unfuckable incel piece of shit. So you have to point at others to build yourself up and laugh at them and mock them. That's bullying on 101. That's high school 101, and that's pitiful. But at the same time, like, I love you, and if that's what you need to make you feel better about whatever it is you are, good for you. Okay? I'll pat you on the head, right? You can make money as a Trump dig sucker, whatever do that. I'm never gonna lie. I just can't do that. Like, I have Tourette's. Like, I've had so many people tell me, like, you don't have to be so honest all the time. You could just, like, you have to say whatever's on your mind. You don't have to just say that shit. You can keep it to yourself. But I can't. Like, I have a mental issue that the first thing that my brain thinks, my mouth has to speak it. So I can't do that. But, like, I can definitely make money off the train wreck that is Donald Trump. Love you, D. All right, maybe things are going better. Let's refresh for the hopium. Let's see if things are going better right now. Turns out no one likes neocons. Who knew? Oh, Anna Kasparian. Anna's off the bandwagon. She's given up. No. Not excited to continue to have this Nazi dipshit in my life. Game, set, match. Okay, well, I guess Elon Musk is declaring victory, folks. So, super cool. I am not surprised. Disappointed, but definitely not fucking surprised. What you gonna do? So, apparently, I'm about to make a lot of money personally. I do feel bad for everybody else that's going to be incredibly hurt by the Trump presidency, just like they were by the first Trump presidency. But I know this seems callous, me saying it, folks, but you get the government you deserve. And I know, I'm not saying that you deserve it. You don't. You're a good person. You don't deserve this. You might be a trans person that's about to have your rights taken from you. You don't deserve this. But our country, folks, our country is not good. We are one of the biggest terrorist states that has ever existed in every other country. They hate us. And they don't hate us for no reason. They don't hate us because of our freedoms. They hate us because we're one of the largest terrorist organizations on the planet. They hate us because we fund the murder of their women, their children. We fund the most evil that they have seen in their lives. So yes, they hate us. And yes, they do whatever they can to belittle us and degrade us and cheapen us, just as we would do if we were in their shoes. And their chosen vessel is Donald Trump. And none of us did this. None of us personally did this. Like, I didn't interfere in the Iranian elections. Like, I didn't do that. I didn't fucking invade Iraq and kill a million people and spend $5 trillion for no reason. I didn't do that. But our country did it, and we're associated with our country. We're citizens of our country. We are connected to this country, so it's completely understandable why these people would do whatever they can to tear us apart and use anybody that they can to do that. It makes sense. Most people aren't doom scrolling Twitter. Well, most people don't do that as a job, I guess. All right, let's check in. I'll be optimistic. Let's see if MSNBC is happy. If they're happy, I'm happy.
Seen this the last two elections, 20 and 16, that Trump has led in the tally of the national popular vote, well into the night. And typically what you see certainly is California comes in late, and it takes a while to get all the vote counted there. And that's just a millions of vote margin for Democrats. So certainly this is going to change, and we're just starting to get California in. But outside of the core battleground, there are a couple things that I want to flag. A couple states that it's awfully late in the night and we don't have calls on yet that I think a lot of folks might have expected we would. Let me start in Virginia, where 80% of the vote is now in. And Kamala Harris, you see, is ahead here by about 2.5 points in the count. But again, in 2020, this was a 10-point state for Joe Biden over Donald Trump.
Damn.
What's changed tonight? Where has Trump made progress in Virginia? Take a look here. Loudoun County. This is one, if you remember that governor's race in Virginia in 2021 when Glenn Youngkin won, we talked an awful lot about Loudoun County, suburbs, exurbs of Washington, D.C., just lightning fast growth here. Biden won this thing by 25 points. It's been getting leaps and bounds more Democratic. Look what happened in Loudoun County tonight. What had been a 25-point win for Joe Biden comes down to a 16-point win. And again, Trump needs to be improving to win Virginia, on average by about 10 points in these counties. He comes very close to it there in Loudoun County. Take a look. Prince William County. This is a
Dusty last time before midnight. It looked horrible. Like, I'm trying to have hopium, to be honest with you. Like, who knows? I'm not saying that Trump's going to win, but the fact that it's even as close, is that not a damning indictment on our entire fucking society? This guy that tried to overthrow the government, this fucking fat, make-upped, diapered, narcissistic, self-aggrandizing, thin-skinned, bully, piss baby. Is this close to winning? Is that not regardless of who wins, is that not such a damning indictment of our society that it's hard to have any love for the country anymore, right? I mean, this is what it is. So then what do you do when you don't love the country that you were born into? You don't respect it. You're embarrassed by it. What do? Fuck if I know.
Itself, the 5 boroughs of New York City, they're each their own individual county. And let me just show you what's happened here. Overwhelming Democratic city. Manhattan, the most liberal county in New York, a portion of New York, 86-12, a 74-point Biden win, down to 63. Trump's made double-digit gains in Manhattan. Take a look at Queens, 45-point Joe Biden win in 2020. Down to 24, a 20-point net gain so far for Donald Trump in Queens, New York. Take a look over at Brooklyn. 55 has come down to 43. Staten Island's very small population-wise. It is the
shit. He's gonna win a landslide. He's gonna win in a fucking landslide, y'all. Holy shit.
Class Hispanic voters. You're seeing it in New York City. It's being reflected in that statewide vote here, which has come down significantly. And even if you go across the Hudson River into New Jersey has 85% of the vote tallied. We have not yet called it. Now, Kamala Harris is ahead here by nearly 200,000 votes. But again, contrast this to New Jersey in 2020. This was a 16-point state. Tonight, it is a 5-point race with 85% of the vote tallied. The margin here in 2020 was about 800,000 votes for Joe Biden. Tonight, it hasn't yet cracked 200,000. Again, that has potential national popular vote implications for those who are tracking that. But I wanted to point out New Jersey. Again, we see Harris is in pretty good shape to win the state. But take a look at Hudson County. Hudson County, just across there, this is where Union City, New Jersey is, for instance. It's 80% Hispanic. A lot of small, densely populated cities in Hudson County with large Hispanic populations. Joe Biden won here by 46 points. Tonight, it's 28 points. This is basically it in Hudson County, from 46 to 28. This is one of those giant core Democratic counties in New Jersey the Democratic Party relies on. That's a massive, massive shift. And again, that speaks to Trump's gains, it really would seem, with Hispanic voters. So again, those are some of the states here that have bearing on the national popular vote. We saw the polls nationally much tighter than before. We wondered if Trump was going to narrow the margin in some of those big states. That is what we're seeing. I did want to follow up on Wisconsin, too, now getting close to 70% of the vote in. And yes, we were just talking about
Yeah, it is really depressing, but don't want to be word oppressing, but this is just who we are as a people. This is who we fucking are. And so instead of being depressed by it, we have to learn to recognize this is the reality in which we find ourselves, and then have to figure out how to manipulate that reality to best suit our needs. That's literally all you can do. Like, you can lay down and you can cry, you can give up, you can kill yourself, or like the only reasonable alternative solution that works is to recognize reality for what it is, to accept it for what it is, and then to use that reality to push forward whatever you want to push forward.
Over Biden, so that is progress for Democrats in a very big county. You take a look here at Ozaukee County, and again, this one, now we got about 3/4 of the vote in, and Trump is running a bit above, not much. It's basically level with his 2020 number. Again, this is one where Democrats want to get a couple points better, see what happens with that remaining vote. And we talked at the start of the night about, we say the wow counties and the bow counties here: Brown County, Outagamie County, Winnebago County, mid-sized cities along sort of the Fox River, Lake Winnebago. These are all counties that Donald Trump won in 2020, but with reduced margins. Is he returning to 2016 levels, or is he back at 2020 levels? So Outagamie County here, again, this is where the city of Appleton is. In 2016, when Trump won Wisconsin, he won this county by about 13 points. In 2020, when he lost Wisconsin, it was a 10-point margin. And tonight, as you can see, 67%. It's back at that 13-point spread right now. Now, again, votes still to come in Outagamie County. But I only flag this because we are seeing it in an awful lot of places tonight where Trump is returning to 2016 levels. These aren't always dramatic shifts, but Wisconsin's a state. When Trump won it, it was by 20,000 votes. When Biden won it, it was by 20,000 votes. So these kinds of differences can make all the difference. See what happens with the remaining vote there. But that's something we've been seeing in other places in this northern tier of the battleground all through the night. Again, now up near 70%. It's very close here, about 67,000 votes. More to come out of those wow counties, and we'll see if there's anything left there in Dane. But if that number doesn't move, that's a little bit below, I think, where Democrats wanted to be there.
All right, Steve, thank you. We've got a call to make in a Senate race. NBC News can project that in the Senate race in the great state of Minnesota. We have that projection? There we go. The Senate race in the great state of Minnesota, Democratic incumbent Senator Amy Klobuchar will be heading back to the United States Senate. Amy Klobuchar reelected in Minnesota. We're going to take a quick break right now. There's a bunch of other Senate races right now where
Finally, some good goddamn news. Just lie to me, Rachel. Tell me you're straight. Kamala's winning. We're taking back the House and the Senate. Do it.
Interesting Senate races still to come. We're going to check in on those on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
All right, I'll be right back. We're going to watch, no, let me turn it. I can't watch a fucking commercial.
You're watching MSNBC.
Fuck you, MSNBC, all right? I know what I'm watching. You can tell fucking me. I know what I'm about. All right. Oh, shit. Here we go again. Oh, Cal Kalinske giving up. Oh, no, not Cal. Oh, fuck Cal. When Cal gives up, you know it's bad. Good news about Kamala possibly losing is Democrats are about to start really caring about Palestine. No, they're not. Literally, they're not. They don't give a fuck about Palestine. They're going to double down on Israel has the right to defend itself on October 7th. The most evil shit that ever happened. And there were rapes. They raped every Jewish woman that ever lived. And then we gotta pay for their medical care and their education. Give them billions of dollars while we can't feed our own children or have our own kids because it's too expensive. Because they have a right to defend themselves. It doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna fucking change that shit they own us. Don't lie to yourself. Big picture, give the counties reporting so far: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona. And the counties, most urban areas, lagging. They're reporting Harris is in good shape to win those 4 swing states and finish 281 EV. 15 minutes ago for Dave Shuster. All right, so David, give us a little bit of copium here. Are you guys open to it? Lawrence M. Krauss Going to bed, reasonably resigned to Trump win at this point. As it seemed to me from a distance for some time, he may be a nut, a liar, a crook, but the bright side is likely boost free oh my God. Oh, Lawrence Krauss. Oh my fucking God. This motherfucker. Just why? So these are all the like intellectuals from the atheist community back in my day when I used to be a fixture in the atheist community. I was trying to date this girl one time, really cute girl. She's pretty hot, to be honest with you. She's like 22 years old. She was going to college at Davis, California. Flew out there to hang out there for a week. Didn't go very well. The entire time I was out there, she was talking about how hot she thought Lawrence Krauss was. This old grandpa. That's who she was fucking into. Every one of these old fucking atheist boomers. Just dumb as dog shit. He may be a nut and liar quote, but my bright side is likely boost free speech. He won't boost free speech. He's literally out there talking about removing the FCC licenses of anybody who reports news in the way that he doesn't like them to report. He literally said that he wants to destroy parts of the Constitution that he wants to. What are you talking about? But I know, like, he ain't talking about anything, right? He's just spreading bullshit because he thinks this will get him a blowjob or whatever. This fucking Lawrence Krauss thinks will get him ahead tomorrow. It's just... But the bright side is likely to boost free speech and due process. He's literally repeatedly talked about going after all his political enemies. Being your retribution. Just, you know this is not true, Lawrence Krauss. Man, I'm not going to have anything to talk about tomorrow. I'm 49, in case you were wondering. All right, let's go back to MSNBC. I'm going to go get me a Coke.
Virginia, that there is a winner in Virginia. Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris has won the presidential contest in the state of Virginia. NBC News can also project a winner in the presidential contest in North Carolina. NBC News projects that the winner in the presidential race in the state of North Carolina is Donald Trump. This is our first projection of a result in any of the 7 big swing states. The first swing state to be projected by NBC News tonight is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. I understand we also have a change in the characterization of the presidential race in Minnesota. In Minnesota, this had previously been characterized as too early to call. Minnesota now characterized by NBC News as too close to call. Looking at the overall map, the road to 270. Right now, Donald Trump stands at 230 electoral votes. Kamala Harris stands at 185. Again, of the 7 swing states that we and everybody else has been watching, we now have an NBC News call in the first one, Joy. North Carolina called for Donald Trump.
Yep. And so it was, it's a state that I think Democrats definitely were reaching for. There was a lot of work to try to turn out the college campuses, which were really thick and really packed, and try to turn out the suburbs. And I think there was a lot of hope because of just the insanity, can we say fairly, of the person who's running for governor in that state, and a thought that, defeating him would also carry Harris in. But in the end, if they didn't make their numbers and essentially exceed the numbers that Joe Biden had in the suburbs, and I think we have to be blunt about why. Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. That is what it appears happened in that state, is that if you can't flip enough white women, and we've talked about this on this set numerous times, is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks. Yep. But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And, you know, God bless Shannon Watts, who has tried to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and if people vote more, you know, party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people what the risks are and leave it to them to do the right thing.
Steph.
People didn't have any surprises here. We do have to remember when it comes to North Carolina, they just went through the hurricane. We know that the state made tons of accommodations and people were able to get to the polls in an abbreviated form. But they also were victims to a huge amount of misinformation over the last 4 weeks. You cannot underestimate the impact that had. But to Joy's point, there's no surprises in this election. People knew exactly who they were voting for and what they were getting. So they get what they get.
I want to talk about Mark Robinson for a second, because I think it's sort of interesting. Mark Robinson is like running an experiment, which is like, what's the floor? What's the floor for someone who's a major party nominee in a swing state, in basically a closely done?
Remind people who he is.
Mark Robinson is the current lieutenant governor of North Carolina running for governor. He is the one who said he was called himself a Nazi at one point on the Nude Africa Forum, where he had a long set of exchanges in which he said basically every single offensive thing a person can do. He has a very, very long history of saying incredibly repellent, omnidirectionally offensive statements about just about every group imaginable. He is the opposite of what you would call like diplomatic or like political. He's going to get his, you know. He lost, right? So he lost by a lot. He got 40%. So like, to me, I look at that 40%, I think, where does everyone start in the structurally polarized America that we live in? And the answer is Mark Robinson at 40% North Carolina. Like that guy ran about as bad a race. He was abandoned by the top of the ticket. He was abandoned by fellow Republicans.
Abandoned by his entire staff.
By the entire staff. He had just about the worst news cycles you've ever seen for any candidate. And in basically what has been a 50-50 state, more or less, so it's a good experiment, that is the floor, is 40. So the reason that matters is because there's two things happening in every election. There's the structural stuff that's happening, and then there's what happens in that campaign, what the candidates are, what's happening in the news. The structural stuff in this country is like the...
All right, I'm back. Sorry. I had to go get me another Bible to read. So... pretty depressing, though. I apologize. But like, what can I do? Like, I fought tooth and nail for the last 8 years against all the shit, so I don't really have any reason to apologize. I've done my fucking part.
Points in a room of 100 people with people wearing different colored shirts. That's like 3 people changing the color of their shirt. It's 4 people changing the color of their shirt. That's where everything happens in American politics right now.
Well, and I think it goes back to what David Plouffe said there, and said they built a campaign for Kamala Harris to try to defeat a Donald Trump that had a 48% ceiling. It looks like from some of what Steve Kornacki is telling us that his ceiling might have been higher this time.
Well, we talked to David exactly about that this idea that his ceiling was 46.1 or 46.7. It had always been that. And so there'll be much more time to follow this. We are following the story and the facts, and the story's not over. But if Donald Trump did increase that margin over what had been a 8-year ceiling, right, there will be much to say and much to study about whether that was because of some newfound appreciation for him and his ideas, or whether this was an economy election, and we've had many of them. And there's many a politician who will say, oh, this happened, that means you like me more, or I have a bigger mandate. And sometimes it's not that. It's that high prices and inflation after COVID disruptions was a body blow to many places. And you add what you just said.
But working class voters
they're trying to make excuses
mad at
already.
Everyone. They're mad at the system. They're mad.
Bad sign when MSNBC is trying to make excuses for why Donald Trump won, folks. Wow, this is super fucking grim.
All working class voters are members of unions, right? And so there's a huge portion that correct. And I think that gets overlooked. And while we can all say, but Donald Trump does absolutely nothing for them, that's true from a policy perspective. But they look around and somehow still they feel connected with his personality. They like the way he speaks. And he speaks to them and says, you are forgotten.
Yeah, don't like feel bad because you knocked on a bunch of doors and you lost. You went to war against evil on the side of good. You fought a battle. Because you lost the battle, because we lost the battle, doesn't mean that the battle wasn't worth fighting. Kind of reminds me of how people feel about relationships. Like if you break up with somebody, it could be somebody for 17 years, 20 years, and you break up and people were like, oh my God, your relationship failed. No, it didn't. What are you talking about? Failed? A 17-year relationship that was solid? That doesn't fail. That's a success. So even if you lose, what you did wasn't a failure. You fought. That's all you can do. And then you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the outcome regardless of whatever happens, right?
Seen from time going back to the beginning of elections that when people are mad about the economy, they vote against the incumbents.
Or they don't vote at all, because I think we also forget that we are a 60%.
So PBS, they have better coverage on PBS? All right, let's see here. Somebody saying check out PBS. PBS live election coverage. All right, let's do it. It's asking me to donate. Okay. Where's the video? All right, this is unhelpful. So if I go to the main, here we go.
Or is going to come out of the central count where they're doing all those absentee ballots in Milwaukee County. And the real question is, are there going to be enough to carry Tammy Baldwin and Kamala Harris to victory? Because everyone's expecting Trump and Eric Hovde to keep these minimal leads all the way through and perhaps grow them until all that are left of those outstanding absentee ballots. One of the other things we were looking at is to see whether Tammy Baldwin would run ahead of Kamala Harris. And right now she's maybe 30,000 votes up. And the question is that going to be enough? Will this be a 20,000 vote margin like it was in 2020 or in 2016? And finally, the last thing I've been looking at is the number of third-party voters. In 2016, third party took almost 5% of the vote. There were a significant number of votes there that were lost to both candidates. In 2020, there was almost no third-party vote to speak of. This time around, the number of third-party votes in that U.S. Senate race with Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovde stands at 50,000, and there's almost 30,000 votes in the presidential race that have already gone through.
All right, guys. I've been doing this for 2 hours. I guess we'll cut it off here. I did the best coverage I could for 2 hours. It's going to be going on all night. We're not really going to know who's going to win until tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm planning to do a show tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'll try to sober up tomorrow. But don't be too depressed. Regardless of what the fuck happens, we're going to get through this. We're all in this together. It's going to be okay. Yes, bad things might happen. Yes, it's an embarrassment for our country. Yes, the bad guys might have won this one, but it's only one fucking battle in a long-ass war. It's not over yet. So, try to keep your chin up. Love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.